Welcome to Channel 8 News. This week we'll talk about a visiting author, late night at the rec, science in the outdoors, They Call Me Q, and more. Channel 8 News starts right now. Thank you for tuning into Channel 8 News. I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez.
Last Wednesday evening, Mary Grace Rice had the opportunity to attend Science in the Outdoors. Mary Grace?
On Wednesday, Northwest hosted Science in the Outdoors, an event where Leet Center and Horace Mann families were invited to participate in outdoor science activities. Renee Smith, the coordinator of the event, explained more.
So Horace Mann usually reaches out to our science methods course, which is what I instruct for the elementary, and they ask for us to co-host a family night. Well, it also coincides with what we call our co-teaching events in class, where students select one of their topics of interest. And lo and behold, family involvement is one of those topics. So any student that wants to participate, because it's after class hours, it's usually in the evening, can voluntarily sign up for this topic, but this gives them real students through preschool and Horace Mann to actually interact with their families. They do some readings about how to host a family night or a school event, and then they actually come up with the stations themselves. They're linked to the science standards. We also require them to have a literacy connection, so they come up with a trade book, a library book that goes along with their station theme. They do a handout for the parents, information page about any of the book connections, about extra activities that they can do based on their topic or theme. And then the other side is for the students. So it's a mini science notebook page. And the pre-service teachers actually develop all of that with some guidance. And then we come here and host it so that we can interact with families and their students.
There were a wide variety of activities for kids to partake in. Renee described what these activities were.
We go into a lot of the life sciences, we go into some of the chemistry within the standards. So we have stations such as that are easy enough, just about, what are some characteristics of leaves, are there parts, and then dealing with observations and inferences, making some predictions, all the way to chemical reactions, the easy vinegar and baking soda, but that allows them to put a spin on it for the holiday. So the fall season, and have some fun with sticking their hands maybe in some pumpkins as well, which is kind of what's all over mine. All the way to other chemical and physical properties. So it's really about making observations and allowing the students to interact hands-on.
Beth Wells, a student studying education, described what her station at the event was.
Mine was called Float or Fall, and so I had the kids seeing if they could figure out what items would float or fall, and then they tested it out. For my experiment, the main focus was on predictions. So a lot of preschoolers, they know what a prediction is because of their reading. And so just getting them to kind of carry that over to science and guess what would happen before it actually happened.
Beth then talked about her experience with the kids.
I think it was a lot of fun. I think the kids had fun. There's definitely things I would change looking back. I would have brought a towel because it got kind of messy, but I think it's just good for kids to get experience and for us as future teachers to get experience.
Renee agreed that the event went well and was proud of the outcome.
The students that develop their own stations actually interact with their students from Horace Mann and the Leet Center and their parents in a real world situation. They're proud of what they present. They can show their work off and their knowledge and all that connection that they do, both to literacy and the science standards. And then of course, because of where we're being hosted at, it's just a nice family involvement night. So I can't say anything more than, wow, they've done a great job.
For updates on more events like this one, be sure to check the university calendar. This has been Mary Grace Rice reporting for KNWT Channel 8.
Thanks, Mary Grace.
When we come back, we'll take a look at your Northwest event report. Don't go away.
News, I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez, and this is your Northwest Event Report.
On Monday, October 30th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the Horace Mann Gymnasium, the school will host a special presentation by authors Marcus and Mandra Sikora. The Northwest campus community is invited to attend. Marcus Sikora has Down syndrome and is the 2017 Be Beautiful, Be Yourself Ambassador with the Global Down Syndrome Foundation. His first animated short book for children is titled Black Day, the Monster Rock Band. Mandra Sikora is Marcus's mom. She's an author, speaker, and advocate. She has written an essay arguing eugenics and the future and other twists. The event is free and open to the public.
Join us on Tuesday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. in all of the residence halls for a door-to-door trick-or-treat event. Families may pick up a campus map and a list of participation rooms at the front desk of each residence hall. The event is a long-standing tradition sponsored by Northwest Residence Hall Association. Northwest students who are interested in participating must sign up on the front desk of the residence hall. Students are encouraged to decorate the doors and rooms and dress in costumes. Students must provide their own candy.
On Thursday, November 2nd, from 5 to 6 p.m. in the Martindale Hall and Gymnasium, individuals with disabilities from across Maryville are invited to play a variety of Halloween-themed games. Join us in participating and helping conduct the games.
We're going to take a quick break from your Northwest Event Report to check out what the late night at the Rec was last week. Craig Richard has the story. Craig?
Last Thursday, the Student Activity Council held their annual Late Night at the Rec, where you were able to play games and eat free food.
This event was basically a collaboration between Student Activities Council and then the Student Recreation Center. And so basically it was created about 3 semesters ago, kind of just to get students involved on campus and also have like an active thing they can do.
An important part of the Student Activities Council is bringing students together. Students discussed how they accomplished this tonight.
I think it's good to get a bunch of different people together, especially with our specific university because we're so diverse. Making sure that everyone kind of interacts with each other on that same situation. We all like doing this kind of stuff. So seeing what things people like is really fun.
I would say that it brings a lot of students together, and so we have a lot of international students who like to come to the event. We have students who live on campus and off campus. Basically the event in a whole, it brings the whole campus and all these different people together. And so I mean that's my biggest takeaway, and also just collaborating with the rec center because they're great about everything.
I think it's a good experience for people to meet other people. I mean, we got a lot of people on campus here, so whenever you can get everyone together to meet new people, good things are going to happen. So.
Late Night at the Rec had a great turnout. Some students had some highlights.
That was pretty fun. We won. Bobby the Bearcat was playing, and I beat him, so that was pretty cool. I caught his ball, and he was the last person, so I was happy.
Free food can always be a plus when attracting more students to events.
Free food, just because a lot of students are drawn to the free food. I mean, yes, they want to come to the activities, but the feeding them in the in the end too also helps get people here and realize, oh yeah, there's all this stuff going on plus the free food.
Yeah, free food is good. It's great. It's better than the Union food.
Free food was actually news to me, but it's always a plus for a lot of things because people just kind of come, and even if they don't want to be there, they're just going to interact with people while getting food, so that's nice.
SAC hosts many events throughout the school year. Callie discussed upcoming SAC events.
We have an ice skating rink that is going to be outside. I believe it's November 3rd, and basically it's they're bringing in ice and people can ice skate on it. It's kind of cool. And then my next event is Cupcake Wars. It's November 9th, and so basically it'll be a contest of decorating cupcakes and seeing who can have the coolest decorating cupcake.
This has been Craig Richard reporting for KNWT Channel 8.
Thanks, Craig. Now let's get back to the Northwest Event Report.
On Friday, November 3rd, on the Union 3rd floor, the B.D. Owens Library hosts the 17th Annual Break and Click Libraries Conference. Academic librarians from across the country converge at Northwest to present the information and best practices about serving the information needs on campus and distance learners.
On Friday, November 3rd, from 3 to 4 p.m. in the Union Living Room, another edition of First Friday Culture Talks takes place. Students from around the world discuss their cultures and traditions and breaking down stereotypes.
Also on Friday, November 3rd, from 5 to 6 p.m. in the 3rd floor of the Administration Building, students in dietetics and food service management majors host the last of its Friday night cafes featuring internationally inspired meals and decor. This meal is centered around France. Tickets are $12 and available online at www.nwmissouri.com. www.edu/RSVP/NW Friday Night Cafe or in a cashiering office located on the first floor of the admin building. Seating is limited to 60 guests per evening.
On Friday, November 3rd from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Memorial Bell Tower, the Student Activities Council presents ice skating. Students are invited to ice skate on an inflatable iceless ice rink. Ice skates and hot chocolate are provided. Students should wear comfortable socks to skate and the event is free.
That's all we have for your Northwest Event Report. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more recent news and events. Stay tuned.
Back to Channel 8 News, I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
Now I'm Alex Sanchez. Hayden and Allie had the opportunity to attend another Visiting Authors series hosted in the Student Union. Hayden?
Last Wednesday, the Creative Writing Program hosted their last Visiting Writing series for the semester. I was able to talk to Mr. Beagleson to learn more about the Visiting Writing Series goals.
Promoting creativity and community. We live in a moment where it seems very difficult for people to talk to each other civilly and to communicate with each other. And the writing series is all about expression, sort of through an artistic means that is designed to create discussion and designed to promote that issue of creativity and community. So when you come here and everybody is focused on listening to one person and giving something of themselves to that author, to that reading, it's in some ways a really sort of magical moment.
And also the opportunities they create.
So it serves a number of different functions here on campus. It provides a real-world experience for a number of our students getting involved in promotional events and also meeting other writers, people who are doing the kind of creative work that they are interested themselves in doing. But it also invites people from all over campus. It's free to everyone who wants to come and from anyone off campus to hear people expressing themselves through art.
Fifth-year senior Corbin Jones explains why he likes the Visiting Writing Series.
It really helps me as a writer to see how other people in the field are going about their art and what they create and what they think is, worthy of writing about. But also as a reader, it's a really nice way to get to know an author, get to know the work as well as the author at the same time, because you don't really get that option a whole lot. And so I think that's a really valuable part of the experience.
The visiting writer for the week, Richard Robbins, is no rookie when it comes to poetry.
Well, since my early 20s, so that's over 40 years now.
Along with poetry, Robbins is a teacher.
I'm a teacher at Minnesota State University, Mankato, so I teach creative writing courses and literature courses and things like that.
Richard explains why these events are important for authors.
Well, I was talking with some students about it today, and I think you're always trying to challenge yourself and, change. Challenge yourself to write kinds of new things about new subject matters, but every once in a while, you have a good year, you get a book taken, or you win a grant, and not that I'm sort of searching for validation all the time, but those kind of things do kind of help and say, well, maybe, I have been wasting the last 40 years.
He was able to provide more insight into poetry and why poetry interests himself.
Poetry is musical language, and it's language that's a little more charged, than prose. I like novels, I like short stories, but as a writer, I never did very well in those fields. So there's just something in me that wants to isolate a moment and try to capture it in language, and try to have that language have a kind of a musical quality to it that may be engaging to another ear.
He even gave props to Northwest.
The crowd was great, and the community, as far as I can tell, for creative writing and the interest and the passion for it here is fantastic. I'm really glad I came.
Reporting for KNWT News, this is Hayden Ali.
Thanks, Hayden.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some national headlines. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
When researchers published findings in June of the earliest Homo sapien fossils ever discovered, the scientific community was abuzz. 300,000 years old, which is 100,000 years older than anything previously discovered. They stretched the timeline of Homo sapiens further into the past and left humanity with a new first chapter, blank and waiting to be written. Ethiopia was previously the site of the oldest Homo sapien fossils. In East Africa has been long considered as a cradle of life. However, these new findings came from Morocco. This means that our ancestors dispersed from recently than expected.
North Korea has worsened its threats to the U.S., stating that the United States should take the hydrogen bomb threat seriously. North Korea carried out the strongest of its 6th ever nuclear test in early September, claiming to have used a hydrogen bomb. North Korea claimed that the hydrogen bomb could fit atop of a ballistic missile. And during the back-and-forth conversation with Washington, Pyongyang at one point said that it would fire missiles into the waters off of the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam. But President Trump says we're prepared and ready. Our CNN affiliate Brian Todd has the story.
As tensions build with North Korea's volatile leader, new concerns tonight about whether the Trump administration is talking itself into a possible conflict with Kim Jong-un. President Trump kept up the tough talk in an interview with the Fox Business Network.
We're prepared for anything. We are so prepared like you wouldn't believe. You would be shocked to see how totally prepared we are. Wow. If we need to be. Would it be nice not to do that? The answer is yes. Will that happen? Who knows?
The president's comments follow other remarks from his national security team in recent weeks indicating a tougher tone on North Korea. CIA Director Mike Pompeo warning about Pyongyang's rapidly advancing threat of a nuclear-tipped missile that could hit the U.S.
It's now a matter of thinking about how do you stop the final step.
And the latest warning from Secretary of State Rex Tillerson that diplomatic efforts to solve this crisis might fail.
Those diplomatic efforts will continue until the first bomb drops.
The tough talk extends back at least to August, when Trump spoke like no president ever has when addressing North Korea's threats.
They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
I do think it's pretty stunning that the U.S. president speaks about openly going to war with North Korea because, as you know, conflict is just unimaginable in the Korean Peninsula.
But some say Trump's been placed in a position no other American president ever has by the aggression of his young adversary.
Some of this is also on Kim Jong-un, right?
Absolutely. We have seen multiple nuclear tests of a hydrogen bomb, not just a fission bomb, but a fusion bomb of multiple hundreds of times the size of Hiroshima. ICBM tests over Japan. Nobody has done this before, certainly from North Korea.
Tonight, another key strategic question. Will President Trump visit the heavily fortified DMZ, as other American presidents have, when he travels to Asia next month?
It could also really stoke the fires, and Kim Jong-un is very unpredictable. If he doesn't go, on the other hand, it looks either like we're making a concession to North Korea, or it is making it look like President Trump is somehow not your typical president.
Amazon thinks it would be a good idea to allow delivery drivers inside your home to drop off items that you order, even if you're not there. Their service is called Amazon Key and launches November 8th for Prime members. You buy a kit that includes an Amazon security camera, the Cloud Cam, and a compatible smart lock. The kit starts at $249.99. You order something for delivery and click the in-home shipping option. When the delivery driver arrives, Amazon verifies the address and delivery time and allows him or her into your home. You can watch from your phone as the camera records the whole thing. The service isn't just for deliveries. Amazon says you can also use it to let family and friends into your home when you are not there. And it will work for certain services like home cleaners, pet sitters, and dog walkers. Amazon Key will be available in 37 U.S. cities to start and will add more as the time goes on.
A sheriff's deputy is accused of stealing from an empty house of a dying man while Hurricane Irma put South Florida in the state of emergency. The incident was caught on security video. Jay Rosoff called the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on September 12th and requested a welfare check on his 85-year-old father. Rosoff, who lives in North Carolina, told deputies that the indoor surveillance camera in his father's home did not detect any movement. The father, Mo Rosoff, had remained alone during the hurricane, which caused for alarm in his son's eyes. 3 deputies responded and found Rosoff, whose family members said had fallen and hit his head during a power outage on the floor of his master bathroom. He was transported to a nearby hospital, and the deputies left the home. Rosoff died later that day, and Deputy Jason Cook, who was not involved in the initial call, later came to the home and was shown on video going through the house. Police say Cook had confessed to taking drugs from the home. He was arrested on October 19th on several charges, including burglary and larceny. Our CNN affiliate has the story.
This is surveillance video from the West Boynton home of 85-year-old Mo Rosoff, 2 days after Hurricane Irma, about an hour after rescue crews rushed Rosoff to the hospital. We see a law officer here in the home. We're told this is the video that led to Palm Beach County Sheriff's Deputy Jason Cook's arrest. In the video, at the kitchen island, we see the armed deputy pick up at least 2 containers and appear to put items in his pocket. The arrest report says when detectives confronted Deputy Cook with the surveillance video, Cook said to enter the home he used the garage code in the dispatch log from the earlier visit by other deputies. The report says Cook admitted to taking pills from the counter, a pain reliever called Tramadol. Investigators say they recovered other meds from Deputy Cook's patrol car. He's now charged with armed burglary and grand theft during an emergency. Along with the video, the homeowner's family released a statement saying, "We were outraged and disgusted when we viewed this." The family members say they believe Cook also stole money and jewelry from the master bedroom. The arrest report says it's unknown what Cook did in the bedroom. The family's statement says if Cook was working under the influence of medications, he may have posed a threat to the public's safety. The statement reads, "In our opinion, had we not had this video, this cop would still be out there posing a threat of danger to the community he swore to protect and committing more crimes."
Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
For more information on stories that matter to you, like us on Facebook at /Watch Channel 8 News or follow us on Twitter at KNWT 8 News.
KXCB Bearcat Coaches Show is up next. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez. Have a good night.